is gender equality important? Well, we all aspire to a better world, right? We all want to be happy, and I think gender equality can play a big role in this one because it builds a world free of bias, where we all see equal. At P&G, we see equal. We really want to give the same chances to men and women. And this makes such a better world for all of us. It's important for our employees, but as well for our consumers. We really use our brands as well as a force for good.
As a leader of an organization, I've learned that technical teams, when faced with a challenge, are actually faster to get to the solutions when they are diverse. Having a mix of gender, mix of different religions, culture, backgrounds actually gets us faster to the solutions, and there is also more creativity, which means that the solution is also cheaper and sometimes more effective. As an organization leader, we cannot miss this opportunity. First, I'm actively engaged to make sure that the recruiting we do, it's a recruiting that is already respecting the gender equality. So I want a 50-50 male-female pipeline. I know, being the engineering leader, it's not easy because the university we recruit from typically have less than 50-50. But however, given the amount of people we are recruiting, I think it's totally doable. And it's not with any compromise on quality, I can promise you. So that's on recruiting. The second one would be on retaining the people. It is important that we provide the right support network for our top females and our females in general to make sure that they are given the ability to, when confronted with difficult situations, they have somebody of trust to talk to, and they can then continue to thrive and contribute to their maximum. And third, I would say it's the assignment planning. It is important that at the right time in the career of individuals, specifically of females, we give them the crucible, sometimes very challenging job that is actually going to enable them to really have the right exposure and to blossom in their work, so that when comes the discussion time of should we or not promote an individual, the results, the contribution of these individuals are speaking for themselves.
My actions is really becoming from being passive to becoming active. So at Procter & Gamble, we have a lot of best practices, a lot of trainings to really fight unconscious bias, make sure that we are all intentionally inclusive leaders, but we need to do more. And what I did personally was first share my parcours, really talk to women about what I face and what I did in my parcours. Secondly, I went as well to become a trainer myself. So I train a lot of general managers. And finally, I give as well external speeches.
On a personal basis, it is also important that an organization leader shows real commitment and authenticity in his effort to drive the culture of gender equality. Personally, I'm investing quite some time on the mark, the Men Advocating Real Change, as a facilitator and as well as a very strong sponsor. For example, I have actually included all of my team, lead team, in the sessions of Mark so that they understand the principles behind that. It's very important that men take advantage of their privilege so that they can share it with the women, specifically in leadership positions where it's typically still very male-oriented and dominated. It's important that we allow women to come and to flourish the way they naturally are. I am very well aware of all the difficulties that women have to access the same opportunities as men. As such, it is very important that we drive a change as men. Men need to work close to the woman to drive this change. This can take different aspects. It can be as simple as changing the words you are using and using gender-neutral words, such as labor force versus manpower. It can also be sometimes to taking time off your very busy schedule to make sure that you can coach and provide tips to women that are in difficult environments, such as a plant, to help them about how to be successful. Or sometimes it also requires to be courageous and to confront the misbehavior that are being done versus women. Often they are unintentional, therefore it's important that you take a moment to talk about what has happened and to coach the people about why it's not acceptable. If you do this day after day, the change will happen, and I count on you, men and leaders of the organizations, to do that.
My message is to join us. I think we can share at Procter & Gamble a lot of best practices, but together we can change the mentalities for our employees, but as well use our brands as a force for good externally. Join us.